You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Now's a good time to remember where the story of tequila started. In 1795, the first tequila distillery was opened by the Cuervo family. And 229 years later, Cuervo is still going strong. Family owned from the start, same family, same land. Now's a good time to enjoy Cuervo, the tequila that invented tequila. Go to Cuervo.com to shop tequila or visit a store near you. Cuervo, now's a good time. Trademarks owned by Becle, SAB the CV. Copyright 2024. Proximo. Jersey City, New Jersey. Please drink responsibly.
I'm a little worried, Stugotz, that Greg is going to screw all this up.
What do you mean? I'm hoping he does.
Just doesn't know. He just doesn't know. Like, look, we make a lot of mistakes. For example, Chris, you want to play the Shadow Show thing, or did you forget? Did you just forget?
We were rolling here. I mean, Greg Cote was ready.
Forgot? Right. You forgot? Okay, can you play it?
You started talking.
Well, he was supposed to play it. I started talking because you heard the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I did, yeah.
And he heard it too. But the
Shadow Show.
Executive producers.
Yeah.
Shadow Show. Shadow Show. Shadow Show. Shadow Show. Shadow Show. Shadow Show. Shadowing it.
So you were worried about Greg messing it up.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Wow. How did I do?
Well, we've got a big day today, and these Shadow Show people, many of them have been with us for a really long time, and we've got like a big announcement. Billy, how do you feel about the big announcement? I'm afraid that Greg, as is his wont, will reveal the big announcement before the big announcement, thus thwarting the big announcement because he's Scoops Cote. I think he's going to make a mistake today.
What big announcement?
All right, so we should be okay then, unless you then say what it is, not knowing what it is.
Right. That I'm more likely to expose the big announcement.
Wait a minute. You really don't know what we're announcing today? Scoops Cote would normally, at a time before Scoops Cote became the big star that he is now, Hee Haw 3, he used to care about Batard show scoops.
Yeah, lead singer.
This would be the biggest scoop he had since breaking my engagement story, would it not? He hasn't had a scoop about our show in a while.
That's you haven't fed me one.
Right.
Feed me. I'm like a bird in a nest.
This would be the biggest story since then, unless you're getting divorced, which...
Was it that?
Right.
Wow. That'd be a good story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not
See if
for
you can
Dan.
make that happen.
Right.
Well, what do you mean? Like, I know the show has an anniversary coming up. I don't know when it is.
It's right now. I mean, we're celebrating the anniversary now, but that's not the announcement.
Oh, I didn't bring a cake. Sorry.
You want to go out and get one?
Yeah, I think I will.
Carvel, please.
With 25 candles on it or whatever.
Well, be too many, but...
Okay, 15?
You turn 70, right?
Eventually. God willing.
Is it September 21st?
I think that's the date of the celebration.
Well, when's the birthday, though? I mean...
You know, it's an undisclosed date just prior to that.
September 10th. I mean, but dates, here's the thing. Greg knows as well as anyone else. With leap years, you know, who really knows what date actually is?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Days are just a construct of man, really.
Zagak.
Put it on the poll, please. Are days just a construct of man, really? Question mark.
It's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Today's episode is sponsored by DraftKings. Stay tuned because you'll hear more about DraftKings and all it has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
You guys do realize that today, well, not really today, like Cody's birthday, 3 days after our actual anniversary, not on the day, you do realize that this is one of the most improbable stories in the history of sports media, that this jalopy full of shit would arrive at 20 years together. You understand how ridiculous and rare it is. Look at what surrounds me. Look at how it's aged.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Not nice to say about Greg, but I understand. You know,
Greg, I can't believe you guys correctly executed an golden oldies thing while I was gone. The Meadowlark Media accomplished something. All that had to happen for it to get accomplished is I had to leave. Where is that package? Is it ready? Because Jessica pinballed in here today. She is. You think the cafecito gets to her. College football, she inhales and snorts. Look at her. Yes, her eyes are crossed from she wants to talk. I think I could give not an F1 minute. I think I could simply, like uncaging a rodeo bull, I could say, Jessica, talk about college football, and she would not stop for 10 minutes.
Dan, what a weekend. Oh my God. I'm sitting in here with all the Canes fans. Notre Dame had a great weekend, and we are going feral right now for college football.
Can we set up a segment, Chris, please, before the end of the show, where we give Jessica the room that there's no way she will have on a Monday with as many gas bags in here as there are, and as many things as we have to do today, because it's a giant day in our show's history, and we've got a giant announcement, and they're two different things. Like, we are going to be celebrating our 20th anniversary all year, just maximum navel gazing. Mike, what can I tell them about the project that is going to, the content project that's going to accompany what's going to be a year-long celebration of one of the goofiest stories in the history of sports media? It really is. It's asinine that we have reached 20 years.
I think you can tell them everything you want to, Dan, about that upcoming project that we're going to celebrate. Over the course of a year, it'll come out every 2 weeks, the first episode of what it is that we're going to do, and I'll let you take it away from there.
It's just an oral history. Mike has been working very hard. You may not yet see the fruit of all the stuff that we've changed around here. In fact, I've heard all your complaints because of the battering everything has taken around here. But now it takes flight. Like today, it takes flight. We're going to be able to get our audience all the things it's been missing for 3.5 years, because we've finally gotten our shit together, because it's super hard to basically what we've been doing for 3 years. Hey, radio show, want to actually become a TV show? All right, do it while you're doing it. Good luck with all that. And you've seen what's happened. It's been pretty uncomfortable and pretty unpleasant. But last week, we executed a golden oldies thing. What we have not executed today, and I'm upset about this, I wanted Pipo today. Today's the day for Pipo, because you haven't heard me in 25 years say the U is back, and I am not prisoner of moment on the U. But they got a quarterback, and that means they're back.
We'll see.
All right.
Exactly right. I mean, one game against the Gators, not a very good team. The guy can't even open a water bottle. Thinks that there's basements in Florida. Like, come on. Billy Napier's a disaster. We can agree on that. Right?
Terrible.
Can we agree on that? Billy Napier. What are you doing?
Can we argue, Billy, about the bigger disaster right now? Because Florida State, oh my God, what a disaster last night, too. Opening the season 0-2. Somehow Boston College gets to say they beat the 10th ranked team in the country because there was no AP poll vote last week after week 0. Unbelievable. What a disaster for Florida State.
The good thing about is more like it.
He's right about that.
All right, hold on a second.
What happened?
Hold on.
Sorry about that.
What?
Oh.
Greg Cote, major penalty, 5 minutes, me maximum.
He wasn't
5 minutes.
He wasn't paying attention to anybody. He doesn't listen when other people are talking. He doesn't know where he is on Tuesdays.
I mean, small windows. He tried to squeeze a joke in.
He wasn't,
that's all.
He wasn't. Florida. The joke was Florida stink. Am I right?
Is it even a joke? No, he's right.
He's replaced, instead of Florida State, it's
right,
Florida
we get
State.
it. It's
Oh,
a
I thought
fact,
he said
though.
steak.
Right, fact.
Okay.
Yeah.
Florida steak.
Florida. You heard steak too, right?
I heard steak as well.
Well, here's the thing, guys, and I think we can all agree on this, right? With the new format, if you're going to lose twice in a week, do it early.
Yep.
That's what you guys were saying last week. That was the FSU argument. Yes, it is a bit shocking to see Florida and FSU stink. However, I will say of Cam Ward before we go any further, because it's not just 20-year anniversary, and it's not just that we've got a big announcement. It's also the University of Miami clearly has a quarterback. Like, even if it was easy against stinky Florida, I will just simply tell you that what Cam Ward gave off more than anything was unhurried. And I haven't seen that at the position since Ja'Cory Harris.
Right. That's amazing that you just said that. He gave off poise. He gave off confidence. He's obviously a good player. It's not just Cam Ward, though. That entire team was terrific.
But it helps when your quarterback moves around as if you can see the confidence on him.
Yes,
like it's a
no
super.
doubt.
Your Jets are going to have it this year if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy. It's going to be a strange thing to watch in a Jets uniform, but
it's been a long time since we've seen Aaron Rodgers be good.
You just say he was the best thing since Ja'Cory Harris?
That was the joke, Billy.
Oof.
Thank you. Stay with us.
What's going on? Why is Greg not sitting in a penalty box? Why is he sitting with Taylor dressed up as a Gator? And Ethan
this is what's happened. This is what's happened today. The insti-gators, Gators came in today. They bought all this stuff. They were texting me all weekend. Dan, we want to be Lucy. We want to buy all the stuff. We want to have the toys. We want to have the expense account. We want to be the insti-gators. And I'm like, sure, you can do that. That'll be funny. But they need to win. And
so this was going to be to troll me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They also need the budget. I mean.
Right.
And to win.
But more than the budget, they needed to win in order to do the characters of the insti-gators. They had all sorts of stuff planned. This was going to be their star vehicle. They were going to finally get on the show. Ethan, I get in today. Hey, Dan, I got a top 5 list. I don't give a Why are you talking to me about your top 5 list, kid? You don't just get to have top 5 lists around here. You know how hard it is for Jessica to earn one of those?
You know what really happened? He said, I have a top 5 list, and Stugotz goes, I have a good top 5 list.
That's what I said. That is what.
Damn.
Without even hearing it, that is what actually Stugotz said. Do you have it right now?
I do.
All right, let's go to it right now. Hey, kid. Hey, instigator. This is how it works to do a top 5 list that you have confidence in. What does it look like, Stugotz?
These are the top 5 things that were happening in sports when Cam McCormick, tight end for the University of Miami, started to play college football.
How old is he? How old has he played?
He's in his 9th season.
Is it 8?
Yes.
It's 9 seasons.
Yeah. Apparently, GameDay had a really impressive piece on the young man, and the narrative around him kind of changed. Not necessarily on this show, which still takes the opportunity to laugh at him, but people really actually get to see that his story is an inspiring one. And I don't think people were familiar with everything that he'd overcome. They just think that he's Van Wilder.
Stugotz, this is just top 5 things that happen in sports, not politics. So it doesn't include Donald Trump's inauguration in 2016 because that happened after he enrolled in college, apparently.
Thank you, Jess, for clarifying, because it is top 5 things, mostly in sports, one outside of sports.
Okay, it's a long name for a list. Hopefully at some point here we will get to Pipo, the announcement, and to celebrating our 20-year anniversary. I do want to talk about Florida. I do want to talk what a disaster Napier is, because I read a report, and please tell me it's true, that he exchanged words with Albert the alligator, that the guy in the costume that they were arguing. I got to find the source on this. I have it written down somewhere. You guys haven't heard this?
Costume.
Was I faked out on this? I'm going to find the sourcing on this so it's not just me saying it or being full. Okay, let's see. It's the Conquering Hero on Twitter says that there were words between Albert the alligator and Napier. Is it true? No one knows?
The alligator can talk? I mean,
is there a blue check next to the Conquering Hero?
Yes.
Oh, then you can trust it implicitly
Thank
on that
you very
website.
much.
100%.
By the way, when you're down 38-10 at home, headed into the 4th quarter, and you're the Gators, you got to bail on the Tom Petty song. It's embarrassing. Don't do it. Pull the plug. I mean... Yeah.
Love that song.
Back down.
I know you love the song, but if you're the Gators and the fans, you don't sing it, you don't do it, you pull the plug on the entire thing. You're down 28 to the Canes at home. What are you doing?
One of my favorite moments is being there with all those Canes fans singing that song, because we were pretty much the only people in that stadium singing that song. I have really pressured back channels to make sure that song is played at Miami home games. Henceforth, that's our song now.
I didn't see anything funnier this weekend than Jay Norville, the coach for Colorado State, on the sideline, down 38-0, still having some sad guy with a banner blocking his play calling. It's like, you're down 38-0, dude. I don't think they're checking your
they're not working.
Like, this poor guy. Look at him. He's just like, left, right.
Try telling them to play. See if that works. I mean...
let's do this list from Stugotz. These are things that were happening in the world the last time. 9 years, this kid, the tight end, has been
9
playing.
years,
McCormick has been playing for 9 years.
Things that are happening in sports,
It's
but also one
embarrassing.
thing that happened in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. Number 5.
OLI, Dan.
Oh, wow, I'm sorry.
Yep. Obama was still president. The Cubs still hadn't broken the curse of the Billy Goat. Number 5, Tom Brady was still a Patriot. Number 4, Phillip Rivers was still a Charger and had 5 seasons to go.
How many kids, though?
Not sure.
That's where I thought you were going with 5. And he only had 5 kids.
Number 3, Lamar Jackson hadn't yet won the Heisman Trophy. Number 2, Peyton Manning won his 2nd Super Bowl, called by Jim Nantz and Phil Simms because Tony Romo was still playing. And number 1, Kevin Durant was still a member of the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's a top 5.
Ethan, you want to come in here and see if an instigator has a better top 5? We're going to put monster pressure on you right now.
Ethan was still in college.
Instigator. He's still
eager. He's ready. He's already in
He
here.
still smelled like embryonic fluid back when Stugotz
I was in high school.
Was doing.
This is my senior year of high school.
All right, enough. Just give us the
enough. Let's move through this, okay? I don't want jazz hands here. Instigator, yeah. No, a little
like
lippy. No, very comfortable in front of the microphone. Those are earned,
I have
right,
3
Ethan?
OLIs.
All right, let's run through it.
There was a lot of embarrassing things this weekend.
All right, what is your list?
What's the list?
Wait, let's set this up correctly. Hold on a second.
Slow down.
Because he's coming for the throne, okay?
My heart's racing.
Okay, let's slow it down and speed it up and put the pressure on the instigator. He wants to be on the show, all right? I got enough white boys around here. I don't need more white boys around here. I don't.
That's going to get aggregated.
Huh.
OLI.
It's an unfortunate thing that you just said.
At one point, Miami, it was very obvious they were punting, and the Gators didn't have a punt returner on the field for about 30 seconds.
Very wordy.
And the phlegm was coming up.
Yeah. We called a timeout after a 5-minute timeout following a kickoff.
That's actually
the time of the kickoff. Okay, I got it.
Before calling out the fans in, quote, rural Central Florida yesterday, Billy Napier said, "We need to work on the football part."
Funny.
All right, number 5. We let up a touchdown to a guy that has been in school since 2016.
All right.
Number 4, Billy Napier couldn't open his water bottle. Number 3, 3 players on the kickoff team at one point ran to the wrong side of the field.
I hear your breathiness. It was like my first show.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous.
He's coming for Taylor stuff, though.
Number 2, Miami players were celebrating with recruits on a visit to Gainesville in the end zone after the game. Inexplicably, they were on the Miami sideline. Usually they're on the Florida sideline. This time they were in the Miami corner. Can't explain that.
We're all looking for who did this.
Yeah, Billy Napier.
I can only imagine how mad Mike Fuentes is right now.
I can only imagine how happy Taylor is.
Number 1, that dork, Mario Cristobal, gator chomping on our home field.
All right, get out of here and go sit in the penalty box and quit bothering me when I come into work, all right? I don't want to hear about your top 5 list.
Was it terrible?
Can we talk about the Gator Chomp thing? Can we watch the video? I'm not going to say it was a little cringe, but...
Stugotz here. The most important things in my life are my wife, my children, and of course, their safety. That's why I've had Simply Safe Home Security in my house for 7 years now. I want you to have the same peace of mind that I and so many listeners experience every day, which is why I partnered with Simply Safe to offer listeners 50% off a system. Just visit simplysafe.com/DLB to claim it. Whether it's setting the alarms before we all go to bed or setting that alarm before we go on another vacation, Simply Safe gives me amazing peace of mind. Simply Safe provides faster response for better protection with Fast Protect monitoring and Live Guard protection. Protect your home with Simply Safe right now. Batard Show listeners can get 50% off any new Simply Safe system, plus a free indoor security camera with Fast Protect monitoring. Just visit simplysafe.com/DLB to claim this offer. It's for a limited time only, so be sure to order today. That's simplysafe.com/DLB. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Don Le Batard.
It's been a lovely cruise. Oh, man, that's my outro. That's, as my casket is being lowered.
Jesus.
I'll have been cremated a week before, but we'll do the casket thing just for show. And as my casket is being lowered.
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
Empty casket?
It'll
Closed?
be empty, just for show. We're gonna
What's the redundancy there?
We're going to put on a public display.
Yeah, naturally.
Stugotz.
What do you do with the ashes?
You're going on a lovely cruise.
Exactly. Maybe we'll throw them over. My wife will throw them overboard.
I would assume
she's necking with her new husband.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
I want to talk about that game for a minute because Greg Cote is here, and there are many Greg Cote things to celebrate here. Not just that he's got another book coming out, not just that he's got a hit podcast, The Greg Cote Show, featuring Greg Cote.
He
He wrote a column off of UF. He did so from Key West. He did so in his underwear.
Attaboy.
I have questions to ask him about that column. But before we do all of that, Billy,
Yes,
I want to introduce the audience here because it's been so long, Billy. This is very frustrating to me that I run this company, but I don't actually run this company because I say and ask for things and they don't happen. I offered today and was searching all weekend for a paid appearance fee for Pipo. He won't come in.
Paid appearance fee?
People will not come in, and I don't know why he won't come in. So, video, can you get for me, please, a reintroduction? I want to do this going forward as part of our 20-year anniversary, year-long celebration, Stugotz. We're going to birth a lot of navel-gazing content that I think our audience is going to really like. And one of those things is going to be behind the bit, behind the bit, beyond the bit, whatever it is that it's called.
Behind the bit.
Yeah. I like behind the pit.
Yeah.
That worked.
Beyond the pit.
Yes, we should. Yes. Well, however you want.
As long as we get Pitbull, we're good.
Pitbull Stadium this weekend.
Thank you, Ethan. This is how it works, Ethan. See, you stumble on a word, and look, the piranha arrived. That's how it is around here.
Live.
So, insti-gator. What is he doing out there writing things? You got to look sad. I told you, you got to look sad, insti-gator.
It's going to be hard for Taylor to look sad after that Ethan performance.
Yeah.
two grinning gators right now.
You guys got to stay in character.
Like the alien xenomorph. A smile reveals another smile.
It's unbelievable. You guys play this game correctly, all right? If you want to be on the show, you got to be sad as instigators because Mike Ryan won, and nobody here wants Mike Ryan to win.
The thing you don't get, Dan, is that everybody out there is rooting for everyone else out there to fail. Like, and there's like a whole like dynamic. So like there's like the Fuentes and like the video crew, and their whole like objective in this entire thing isn't like getting things out on time or anything. It's like make sure Taylor fails at everything that he does.
How do I sabotage
right?
Taylor?
Exactly right. They're constantly trying to sabotage Taylor. And then Ethan came in, and now Ethan is the person that Taylor is hoping that fails, because then kind of the heat goes off of Taylor. So like Ethan is like the grandchild of like the video department that hates Taylor.
Do you understand how flawed a company we're building when every new employee who comes in is wished failure by all the people above him? I know you like that, Billy, because you
I like the honesty, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the upfrontness of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no wondering, do these people want me to fail? You just know as soon as you get in. Oh, they do.
We're not that different from actual respected institutions. We
Correct.
just say it out loud.
Yes.
We don't play this backstabbing game of politics behind the scenes. We front stab you.
I mean, Dan, go to Wall Street. When the new hotshot trader walks in, everyone is rooting for that guy to be an absolute failure.
Yeah.
I mean, this place is no different.
It's true in any walk of life, I think. Like if you go into a car lot, you know, and 5 salesmen are in there, you think they're all rooting for each other to sell a car? No, they're not. And teachers, you know, if I'm a teacher, I sort of want the other teacher not to do well. You know, let's have him or her get in trouble for showing up late for work.
It's like when you work at a restaurant and you're the old server and a new server comes in.
Yep.
You don't want them to have success.
It's like if you're Tom Cruise on the set of Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
Glenn Powell comes around like, yeah, look, this is our franchise. I know what we're trying to do for you, Top Gun : but, you know, just go with the flow a little bit. This is still the Tom Cruise show.
Chris is right about the server. The new server comes in. He's young. He's got a great memory. He's not writing anything down. He's doing it all off memory. You want him to screw it up.
Yeah.
It's like if you're on a coaching staff and there's a new assistant who comes in and he's younger than everyone else and he's the new hot guy and everyone's looking at that guy and you're like, hey, I've been around longer. I have experience here. I want everyone to be talking about how good of a job I'm doing.
Imagine you work at a newspaper for a really long time. Most of your adult life, you started there as an intern, whatever, back in high school. You came from, I don't know, let's just say FAU. Then all of a sudden this hot shot from the University of Miami comes in, fresh out of college, and it gets front page columns.
Yeah, seriously.
It's a lot like if you're a traveling stand-up comedian and your opening act's starting to get some hard laughs. Do I root against this guy? Maybe don't open for me anymore. This is a lot of questions that I'm asking myself professionally. Very introspective.
I would say team sports, generally, you got to root for each other.
Not here, no.
Yeah, publicly you do.
Overrated,
Backup quarterbacks generally root against a starting quarterback.
Greg nailed it publicly.
Unless they're happy being a backup.
Yeah,
you
so
know?
like Charlie Whitehurst wants nothing but the best for a start.
I'm betting Florida State's backup quarterbacks like, I don't want to play. I don't want to do this.
You guys think that Waddle wants Tyreek Hill to fail?
Oh, yeah.
Well, but that's different though. They both start, and they're both getting a lot of
But wait a minute. Why is that different?
Well, Tua told us they all root for each other, whether you believe him or not.
But Odell might be rooting against.
They haven't seen him in a week, huh? Then they walked that back real quick.
Isn't that the Will Fuller deal where you come down to Miami and just take the Dolphins' money and never play? Like, isn't that like what the? It's sort of
Will Fuller.
No, I think that it's just. I think
it's Will Fuller V. That's a
At least Will Fuller practiced.
Yeah.
The fourth, I think.
I want to get to Behind the Pit, a new thing that we're featuring that explains to you who Pipo is.
This is Behind the Bit.
This is Behind
the Bit. This is Behind
the Bit.
A segment where we're really wondering if this is going to be the bit that gets us fired.
How did the Pipo character come about?
Pipo was making fun of Miami Hurricanes fans straight to their face, and he became an icon to Miami Hurricanes fans. They loved it.
At the time, we were doing a local hour, and we were breaking down the Hurricanes in a manner that I thought was a little too serious and respectful, and then Pipo just showed up. I don't know.
People? Here's Pipo.
There are many people on this bandwagon who at the end of last season said to yourself, maybe even shared it openly, you said we got rocked. If we didn't have injuries and those bum-ass refs, we would have won our 7th national championship. You heard me, Filete, 7. Well, guess what, bro? Next year is here. The time is now. And all the descarados from UF, and all the stupid Seminoles, and all the haters, and even that rat Nevin Shapiro, all of them will be watching us. The time is now. And don't any of you overestimate this moment. This team ain't got on us, bro. When I walked into that stadium today, they patted me down and they found the extra beer I had in my cargo shorts.
Pipo is basically the combination of about 36 Miami Hurricanes friends that I know personally. I even have a friend whose name is Filete, which is why he was kind of referenced in there. I had friends get kicked out of stadiums for smuggling beers into their cargo shorts.
In one of the videos, Pipo said that when you drink cafecito, in Spanish, I said some people shit themselves, which never would have aired in English. But because it was in Spanish, no one knew what was being said.
And when there's pressure, we drink cafecito. And for the weak, para la gente débil, when they drink cafecito, se cagan. No, bro, imagínate cagándote delante de 100,000 gente en el stadium on national TV. Qué pena. But for the strong, para los caballos, when we drink cafecito, nos enfocamos.
Did Manny Diaz ever get that turnover chain?
Manny Diaz got fired because Manny Diaz was not a good coach. Manny Diaz was what people thought they wanted at UM and then ended up being kind of a disaster as a coach. And I'm not saying that the Pipo interview with Manny Diaz would have foretold what was to come, but that interview went very poorly. Manny Diaz did not understand what Pipo was saying. There was general confusion.
Here's the thing about Manny Diaz. He actually doesn't really know all that much Spanish, and Pipo kind of exposed him. So I think Mario Cristobal is more of a Pipo guy, quite honestly, than Manny was. It was a very weird interaction between Manny Diaz and Pipo, and quite honestly, it was the start of my doubt that Manny Diaz wasn't the guy on how he handled Pipo. Pipo is a great way to vet your head coach.
Pipo, what do you got? What do you got for your new coach?
Get out of the way here, damn man! Que hola, city! What's up, bro? Hey, what's with this weird energy? Like a funeral, like a velorio in here today, bro. What's happening? It's a party.
It's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, bro. Congrats. I'm happy for you. Listen, as soon as the job became available, I knew there was one person for this job. Someone's going to be here through thick and thin. And there's a bunch of haters like Pablito saying you're a traitor for leaving the Templo. And you know what? Ignore them. I said, you know what? That tipo, he's an empresario. Cógelo suave, bro. That guy wants billete. So I was happy that you got that job at Temple, and I'm even happy that you're back.
Hey, that's great to hear. This has been the high point of my tenure so far. This makes it all worthwhile.
Manny, I'm sorry. Welcome to Miami.
It just got a little out of control. That clip that was played, the original speech with the music underneath that was kind of like making fun of a Michael Irvin speech that he gave, made its way to Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin commented on it on Twitter. I was told that at tailgates in Texas, it was being played before the UM game. Calls were made to Paul Feinbaum and got through on Paul Feinbaum, and he was none the wiser that people was just kind of, trying to agitate him.
I mean, you got Virginia Tech.
Nah, by that time in the year, they're not going to be ranked.
Well, you know what? You know why people are not agreeing with you? Because of the way that Miami just choked the last part of the season. What, they lose 3 straight?
Yeah, but that was last year, Paul. Things are different now. Things are different. They were injured.
Why should we wipe that away?
Don't get me started on the refs.
What
The
have we
refs always have it
seen
against
since
US.
then? You Cane fans are all the same. You do not want to regard history as a factor in anything. Anyway, thanks for the call. Great to have you on. We're up against a break. 3 more hours to go. We're right here.
He cut you off.
Now, and Cristobal was seemingly having a good time, and then people was there banging pots and pans, drinking coffee, but made a comment about the offensive coordinator that Mario Cristobal brought with him, who was down here from Miami. And people said something along the lines of, this guy is too small to be a offensive or defensive line coordinator. I don't know. Some innocent thing was said by people.
And I'm not going to get into the coaching moves so far, but I'm a little bit worried about this mirror ball, because I don't know if I could say it now, but he's like, the last time that we had a coach that was like that was Manny Diaz. And then, I don't know about this other guy that you brought in for the weight training, but that guy, is he gordo, si grande por
Are you
gusto?
kidding me? You got to settle down here, people. Tell us about the mustachioed strength coach.
Hey, well, this one's for people. Last time I checked, the Outland Trophy winner, that's the number 6 overall pick for the Detroit Lions, was groomed and coached by Alex Mirabal. So I'll leave it at that. Not to mention.
There you go. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Mario Cristobal.
And then that led to former UM players getting very upset, doing an article with The Athletic about it, saying that they wanted to fight Pipo, saying they wanted to fight Dan. And then my understanding was that a group of former national champion Miami Hurricanes were discussing showing up at the Clevelander to confront Dan over Pipo, I believe, not understanding what Pipo was doing.
Why do you think Billy hates people so much?
I'm not sure why Billy hates Pipo so much. I know he has to take it up a couple of notches. I think he kills the assignment. It's honestly one of my favorite things. My wife has a Pipo hoodie. Like, we love Pipo. Pipo, even though he, again, makes fun of Miami Hurricanes fans, we don't care. We love it. He's an icon.
The best part about the Pipos of Miami and just the whole Pipo era of the show, I would say, is that is UM fans. That's who they are. And for the most part, they loved it because they knew that's who they were. But also, they didn't know it was them. Like, every UM fan said, oh my goodness, I know Pipo, that's my cousin. Or I know Pipo, that's my friend Jack. Or I know my friend Pipo is this is Pipo, that's Pipo. And it's like, no, it's you. You just don't realize that you are Pipo. Would Pipo ever return? Maybe.
A los caballos. When we drink cafecito, nos enfocamos.
Don Le Batard.
That's how it's going to end. The mailing it in end of the retirement, Chris, go get me this, is just going to be him coming out and hitting the 1 or 2 notes of that kind of thing, and you know it, and then just giving us finger guns and leaving.
Baby.
You should listen to the Greg Cody Show podcast, because that's all we do for 55 minutes a week is just say catchphrases. We even make songs about them. The And You Know It is a song. For crying out loud. That's great. Hopefully that's a Suey nominee for Best Song. And you know it, baby, and you know it.
Stugotz.
And you know it, baby, and you know it. Yeah, is it? And you know it, baby, and you know it. Yeah, is it? And you know it, baby, and you know it.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Everybody around here for a couple of years now has seen or heard or felt me falling apart in some ways. The show has endured that a couple of times in its history and lived to survive it. I cannot tell you right now how grateful I am for an audience that made something possible that we're about to buck up and get super strong as the whole media thing crumbles and shakes and tries to figure it out. Like College GameDay killed it this weekend, but they're in transition. And that's how it changes. Get shirtless, get a leprechaun out there that says he has to pee, and Saban's looking around and he's like, I've never seen anything like this. This is what college football feels like. I've never seen something so fun. And he's out there cursing and saying, while on live television, I like, this was funny because he says the word shit, Stugotz, and that's all that everyone was talking about. And do you realize how stupid and silly it is that the rest of that quote is normal now? The rest of that quote is, you guys keep talking about a $20 million roster. If you don't buy the right guys, you'll be shit out of luck. Everyone's focusing on the shit. Nobody cares that there's the winningest coach ever is saying, yeah, it costs $20 million, but you better get the right players. And it's like, what are we doing?
It's why I'm sitting here doing College GameDay now. I got to tell you, Saban is QB1 on that show. It is not McAfee. It is not Desmond Howard. It is not Reese Davis. I love all of them. But Saban is QB1. He is excellent. They need to use him more. They need to utilize him more. Let him speak more. Nick Saban is really good at this.
You say that. I say he's stiff and starched, and he will be excellent, but he needs to work with those parts, and those parts are a lot different. Saban ain't bringing you the young people. McAfee is.
And by the way, everyone who kicked Lee Corso off the set, the only guy who was perfect with his picks over the weekend on the College GameDay set was Lee Corso. He still has it, Dan. He does.
Wow. Thank you for bringing that up, Stugotz. Yep. There's nothing better as a fan than when you're watching a show like Game Day where they're giving pregame picks and everyone picks the same team. And then you say, all of the haters think that we're not going to win. But guess what? Throw it back in their face after the game because Notre Dame won. They all picked Texas A&M. Notre Dame's not going to win in a hostile environment. Their offensive line has 6 snaps of experience between the 5 of them. Blah, 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 blah. Guess what? It didn't matter. It didn't matter. Notre Dame won. Take your 107,000 fans and, I don't know, go somewhere
Kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
Oh, boy.
Minor penalty, 2 minutes, stumbling.
Gave her a whole segment.
Yeah. I wanted to keep talking ball.
I will get back to ball. I wanted to talk ball, too. I just didn't want to talk Notre Dame football that quickly.
Oh, no, it was impressive. Was Connor Wegman actually sick the entire game? I've never seen him. Is it Wegman or Wegman? Because Chris Fowler does not know how to pronounce it on
Impossible.
the game.
However Fowler pronounces it is how you pronounce your name.
Mm-hmm.
That's my rule in life.
He got punched in the stomach. That's why he threw
I don't think you heard what I said. I don't think you heard it.
Minor penalty, 2 minutes, stumbling.
Is that 2 more minutes or the same?
One thing's for sure.
4 total?
I'm not exactly sure who he is. But if you're Florida, you do whatever you can to get that Notre Dame defensive coordinator.
I want to talk more about Napier, and we will over the course of the show today, and we will find out what Greg Cote wrote from Key West in his underwear.
You don't think Nick Saban is going to kind of get his way, like ease his way into this? Like, you don't think he's going to do the David Pollock and jump off of a high board in a Speedo into the pool at some point on this run?
He jumps into the lake. Stugotz loves on God Bless Football asking everybody questions about Saban taking him out on the lake. It's one of Stugotz's favorite questions.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, he takes the guys out on the lake. He tries to throw them off the little floaty. I mean, he should be concerned about those guys getting injured. It's going to happen sometime. Well, it won't happen anymore. He's not coaching.
I agree with what you said about Saban dominating that set
Yeah.
Saban has out-retired Bill Belichick, and it isn't even close.
Well, hold on a second. We haven't seen the Manning cast
It just
yet.
started.
Give him a chance.
They just started.
Give
It's
him a
not even.
moment.
Belichick hasn't even had a chance to shine yet.
Saban
Let's
is
hear him
ahead.
out. Yeah.
It's like you got a picture like a retirement foot race between Saban and Belichick, and right now
I like that.
Belichick is stuck in the starting gate, and Saban is sprinting.
Well, college football started, and pro football hasn't.
Damn right it has, and Saban's like sprinting over those hurdles.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because the NFL does not like college football having its own weekend. There are reports now that the NFL wants to start Labor Day weekend.
They want all the weekend.
Stay away. You can bully basketball. Stay away from the minor league. Did you see there's a clip of Bill Belichick's original content, his show Coach? Did you see who made its way onto the set doing this content creation with Bill Belichick? Matt Patricia.
Oh, wow.
He's going to bring all those.
Wow.
He's going to bring all of the coaching.
Well, he's going to bring the personality.
Did he have a pencil in his ear? Or?
I couldn't tell from what I saw.
Man.
Wait, he has a show called Coach?
I think that was one of the graphics that I
Craig
saw.
T. Nelson?
What else would you call it, though? I mean,
that's a great reference, Billy.
That'd be a great show. A reboot of Coach with
Belichick.
Bill Belichick.
You're
Oh, my
absolutely
God.
Then he's ahead of
right.
Saban. Yeah.
You're so right. It is wonderful that the knee-jerk reaction of Greg Cote is that Saban, it's not even close, has sprinted past Belichick, who hasn't spoken publicly yet in his roles as somebody who analyzes games, because there have been no games for Belichick to analyze.
And that's not Saban's fault.
Fun fact, Craig T. Nelson was offered the part that Ed O'Neill got in Modern Family, but asked for too much money.
Really?
Really?
I have read some interesting things about movie stars and actors. Brad Pitt, I didn't know this. This is crazy to me. The movie Seven, a masterpiece, a dark masterpiece. And keep an eye on everything happening in streaming, because it's hard to get dark made because people want applause, and everything in your streaming channels is a note off because everybody wants a happy ending and to avoid all the difficult stuff. Brad Pitt and George Clooney just got paid $35 million each for this Wolves movie that they're making on Apple TV, and they've been promoting it everywhere. Brad Pitt in Seven had a contract that stipulated, and spoiler alert here if you have not seen Seven. Spoiler alert, I'm warning you, spoiler alert.
I think you're good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Never know.
He had a contract clause that said, in writing, my wife's head is in the box at the end, and she dies and it stays there, and I kill Kevin Spacey. That's how that movie ends. And everyone tried to change it, and he just kept giving them the contract clause of, you're not going to make this a happy ending. They wanted to kill a dog or something, and he's like, no.
That's a happy ending?
Yes, a happy. Well, it's a happy. It's
a dog,
happier.
yes.
It's
I
happier.
haven't seen it yet.
Not if it's your dog.
Now you have.
Keanu Reeves turned 60 over the weekend.
No need.
Got a whole new franchise because someone killed a dog.
I feel like audiences in general would rather see a woman die than a dog die.
Yeah, maybe right.
I'm building out this new Coach
Put that on the poll.
version.
No, I don't want to do that. I really, I should throw that to Elon Musk, should I?
Howdy, folks. It is Mike Ryan, and over the course of our 20 years together, there have been a lot of changes. A lot of changes to the show, a lot of changes to my body, a lot of changes to you and your listening habits. But one thing that hasn't changed is the undebatable great taste of Miller Lite. Another thing that hasn't changed? It's less filling. So what is the best thing about the original light beer? Miller Lite sparked this debate way back in 1975, and we still haven't settled it. You can understand why the debate rages on. Great taste versus less filling. But why not have both? That's what Miller Lite presents in that beautiful white can. A light beer that actually tastes like beer. You don't have to choose what's best. Miller Lite has great taste and is less filling. Tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/Dan, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.